Welcome to another exciting episode of Beyond Borders on ChannelOne TV. I am your host, Caleb Kuda. Today, we are taking you on to a journey to Rwanda, where we've been filming some exciting episodes. Yes, there's a huge Ghanaian community here. We've been interacting with them. So get ready to immerse yourself in the beauty and politics of this fascinating country, often referred to as the land of 1,000 hills and 1,000,000 smiles. You must have heard that Rwanda went to the polls mid of July, returning candidate Paul Kagame to the seat of power as its president. Yes, it was a landslide four-term victory with 99.18%. For many outside Rwanda, this is intriguing. We followed President Kagame's campaign trail and monitored his main opponent, Frank Habineze of the Green Party. So let's explore the story of Rwanda after this break. Welcome back to Beyond Borders on ChannelOne TV. I am your host, Caleb Kuda. Let's start with a bit of Rwanda's political history. And its first elected president was Gregory Kayibanda. The military, led by Major General Juvenal Habyarimana, took power from Kayibanda after some 10 years, citing corruption and inefficiencies in government. Habyarimana's National Revolutionary Movement for Development was a one-party state that dominated politics in Rwanda. A poorly executed process to transition to multi-party state saw an invasion by Rwandan Patriotic Front in 1990, seeking to address the government's failure to democratize and resolve refugee issues. Key among its leadership was young Paul Kagame. A ceasefire accord was signed in 1992, but the process was derailed by the assassination of Habyarimana and the Burundi president in 1994. The event triggered a genocide against Tutsis that resulted in a death of 1,000,000 Tutsis and moderate Hutus while displacing millions. President Kagame is credited for uniting and reconciling the nation after this tragic history. He has since won elections from 2003 to 2024, each time with not less than 90% of votes cast. In 2024, the presidential and parliamentary elections were held between July 14 to 16, where Rwandans queued to vote both home and abroad. Now let's follow candidate Kagame's campaign trail to the northern province of Rwanda. It's 23 degrees back home in Accra, and national capital of Ghana. But here in Kigali, capital of Rwanda, is 16 degrees. Temperatures have dropped, but it's bearable because, as you can see, the sun is kissing my face this morning. It's been a very beautiful morning already. Spent the night at Taffin Hotel, and this morning we'll be heading for Muzanzi. It's in the northern part of Rwanda. President Kagame will be launching his campaign there, and so we will have an experience of Kigali and driving across the country from its capital to some of its furthermost parts, which is the northern part this morning. So come along, this is Beyond Borders. I am Caleb Kuda. There are some journalists on board from Tanzania, Kenya, and other places of interest. So we'll try and get to know each other and experience each other's countries through our connections. Let's go. Another Tanzania, another Kenya. Okay. Oh, 3 delegates from Kenya. You guys, how many of you went for COP28? Nigeria went with more than 2,000 people, as I checked. Well, but that was fun. You guys, so you're about 21 billion in Lagos.
Yes.
21 million.
Exactly.
How do you move around?
Well, we move around.
Yeah, this is my very first time in Kigali.
How do you find it?
Yeah, I'm really liking it. I've seen there's no traffic in town and people are really disciplined. It's not chaotic like the way we are used to, several cities in Africa. There's a bit of discipline in Kigali, and it's something which we really need to emulate and embrace.
One of my mothers gave me Gary to come with because it's an essential. Anywhere you go, if you're starving in the middle of the night, you can do Gary and you're fine.
You mix it with water, right?
You can mix it with water, add sugar, milk, groundnuts, and you're good. Oh, look at that! I love it. Or you can add shito to it. You know shito?
Because I don't think they're very friendly.
You know shito? Ghana girls say she won't marry me. You know that song? It's a Nigerian song.
I was wondering what he was talking about.
I hope say she sabi kukuwache, where her love goes sweet like shito. So shito is a spicy sauce. It's black. Now, do you notice how clean the city of Kigali is? I tell you, not a single plastic, not a single litter. We'll talk later about that. So, we will make a quick stop here and catch up with a section of Paul Kagame's entourage before continuing the journey to Musanze. Let's follow candidate Kagame's campaign trail to the northern province of Rwanda, to a district called Musanze, especially to the University of Rwanda, Busogo campus. Here, security officers thoroughly searched our gears and scanned us, a team of invited journalists from across Africa. Official start of President Paul Kagame's campaign. He will launch his campaign here, and so we've come to a university campus where people have gathered up here in huge numbers. There's a massive concert, and people are excited. Yay! We've been through some security checks, and now we're onto the grounds. Heavy security presence and also huge numbers here. Obviously, this is a very popular party. I'm talking about the FPR. Paul Kagame's supporters speak of him as passionately as they sing of his achievements.
It's simple. One, if you look at what is sacrificed for this country, we can only pay back like on days like this. We don't get an opportunity to do that for so many years. If you're Rwandan, if you're young, even if you don't make it, you have hope. For me, that's a big deal. With providing stability, providing opportunity, and knowing that it will come even if it doesn't come now. I've had an opportunity to go to a few other African countries. You don't find that. So, for me, that hope is everything.
Let's talk about the other African countries you visited. I am coming from Ghana, and I'm with colleague journalists. I'm from Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania. And the complaint is that times are difficult. There's a global recession. Things are really difficult. And a lot of Africans are migrating. Is that the feeling in Rwanda, that times are hard and people are leaving?
No, we are not spared from world problems like anyone else. The difference is we believe in our leadership, and our leadership, whatever they are doing, we know they are working for us. I've been to Kenya, I've been to Tanzania, I've been to Ghana once as well. I think that's the difference, is that despite the issues, you don't believe that your leadership is fighting for you or with you. So that's the difference. We are not saying things are perfect here, but things are getting better, and our leadership is with us.
What is Paul doing differently that his peers say, William Ruto, Akufo-Addo, what's his name, Tinubu, and the others are not doing right? What would you say Paul is doing extraordinarily?
I think one, he works for the people, and he takes responsibility, and he holds people accountable. The countries that I've been to in Africa, like our leaders are different. You know, a minister has no escort, they are servants. And they know that if they mess up, someone else will come.
You have 7 ministers.
We have ministers, I don't know the number, to be honest. But like, if you meet a minister on the street, you won't know this is a minister.
You are kidding me.
Yeah, they are servants. They are civil servants, and they know they work for the people. And the moment you start thinking otherwise, you're not in that position. Wow. So I would say for me, that's the biggest difference, is working with people that he holds accountable. Wow. And that's how the average person benefits.
I am from Ghana. Our leaders tell us that they are working for us. They tell us that they are our servants. I'm sure that's the same narrative our friends from Kenya will report, Tanzania will report, but they are saying it. But you say you feel what he says.
We see it. We observe it, we see it. We are a country still with limited resources, but the growth in infrastructure, supporting youth programs, access to education, access to health. You know, even if you don't have cash income in Rwanda, if you had an accident, an ambulance will pick you up, take you to a public hospital, and you'll be taken care of. You cannot say that for many other countries. And that's not because we have better resources. We don't. It's because we have people that mean to work for. It's not what they tell us, it's what we see. I don't even think they say it a lot. I think we see it and we feel it. Yeah.
Look, I'm weak. Then came the time of his arrival. The crowd went into a static mode. And that song in the background, I do not understand, but I keep hearing Kagame, Ukura Rure. What song are they singing? Can you sing it?
Musewachu, Musewachu, Musewachu.
That's the man that people say has given them hope. That's the man that you'd say cares and puts him at the center of his leadership, for which after 30 years, they are not fed up, they are not done. They still want to give him another mandate. Candidate Kagame speaks largely in Kenya, Rwanda to his countrymen. His messages are themed on one thing: unity. He reminds them of their past, how far they have come, and rebuffs a Western ideology of democracy that imposes term limits on presidents. He argues that Rwandans have a unique history, are in charge of their own development, and therefore owe no one how they should decide to govern themselves or who they decide to lead them and how long they choose. The average age of President Kagame's cabinet is 40. Women make up 50% of the cabinet, 61.5% of the parliament, and 50% of Supreme Court judges. One of such young women is Nathalia Muyampenda, a spokesperson for the governing FPR campaign.
Even myself, who's young, we are interested in what the president and the party will do for us, and we are the people to do it. So I think part of what I always say, particularly for those who are outside of Rwanda, is in Rwanda we are not just voters, we are also responsible for putting together what we said we are going to do for Rwandans. We are part of that, and I think getting to work is the main message.
The main opposition candidate is Frank Habineze of the Green Party. Cameramen couldn't get as close. There were security men all over, and there were such razzmatazz. But here's a very sharp contrast where the man seeking to wrestle power from Paul Kagame. You can literally count the number of people around him. Tracing Frank's campaign trail was difficult.
So we should keep going, eh?
His party's presence in the cities and villages was difficult to notice. We drove some 4 hours to Nyanza district in the southern part to observe his campaign, which drew a far less crowd than his main challenger Paul Kagame. Here, the party executives work hard to excite the people they manage to mobilize. Frank Habineze breaks down his plan for Rwandans. He is confident his party will win this time, even though it polled less than 1% the last time it tried.
I will be the president of the Republic of Rwanda.
You're sure about this?
Yeah, I'm very sure about that, yeah. It's not about posters, it's about the ideas we can sell the people. So we have the media, they are telling everyone our ideas, and we also have the state media, the Radio One and TV Rwanda, they're also telling our story everywhere. So
we've been to the 2 campaigns. The people here are barely 200.
Yeah.
And you think that you can win?
So do you think it's about the people or it's about the ideas? For us, we believe in the ideas. Our ideas are strong and our ideas are transformative. We are going to change people's lives. So we believe we shall win.
We head for Nyarengenge district, and the campaign grounds are electrified. Once again, the people sing passionately and speak highly of their president. When candidate Kagame shows up, his people are agog once again. Here, he tells the teeming youth to take ownership of their own future, see themselves as leaders and work towards Rwanda's progress. Secretary General of the RPF, Gasamagera Wallace, tells us elections in Rwanda are like a wedding celebration.
Our party is dominant, yes, we know. And we don't think that we are there just to nurture any other party. Those parties who share with us the same vision are coming to us. And we are developing and carrying forward that vision. Free and fair election, I think you never say that this multitude of people you saw here, anyone has been forced to come here. So it will be for the elections. We call on everybody, and anyone who wants comes and votes. I wish we'll be there to see how the ambience will be. It will be even better than what we saw today. For us, we used to say, it is not a voting party, it is a wedding party. Because people are so much how could I say? Yeah, they are completely taken up that by 11 in the morning they will have finished. Everyone will have cast his vote. And please make sure if you are around, check if there is anyone behind them, and that will be very clear. This is how it is. We have been doing it for the last so many years. It won't be different this time.
The practice of monocracy, where politicians influence voters with money, is a big trend in Ghana. We sought to find out what the situation is in Rwanda. Here is the Secretary General of the RPF again.
By the way, that's their way of doing things, and we respect the way they understand. But here, you may check. You'll find no money is being distributed to people. We don't have any such practice of distributing money. The only thing we do is just to contact our members, talk with them, ask them for their contribution in terms of presence, mobilization, and you see them just coming up. So that's not a practice in this country. We don't distribute money for campaigning like today. We don't distribute money for voting. People do it on their own, and we are happy it happened like that. I would say that the reason for this is that we learned from the past when it was being done that way. when discrimination, divisions, and so on, regionalism was very, very strong in this country. And then we saw what we got from it. It was a genocide. So after that, people realized that they have to be their own masters of their destiny. And they are working for that. They are actually working for their own destiny.
Would you say that continuing to have monocracy dominate democracies will not end well for any country that practices that?
Well, it depends on which country, because maybe there are countries where the practice has been deep-rooted in such a way that you cannot eradicate it in one day. But for our own case, and this is what I've been explaining, for our own case, monocracy is nothing that can work here.
At the close of polls, President Kagame emerged the elected candidate, while his opponent Frank Habinez and Philip Mpanyana conceded to him. Rwanda's development has had a strong contribution from Ghanaian professionals, from the involvement of Major General Henry Anyidoho during the genocide to hundreds of professionals who are domiciled in Rwanda today. Get ready to immerse yourself in their captivating stories in subsequent episodes of Beyond Borders, only on ChannelOne TV. I am your host, Caleb Kuda. Catch you another time.